Hey guys, welcome to a new Python tutorial, and in this video I'm going to show you the different type of variables you can use in Python. So if you're ready, let's do this. So here we are again back in Visual Studio Code, and in the last video I showed you how to create a variable in Python. Now I'm going to show you the different types of variables there are in Python. The major variables or types of variables are the int, the integer, there. We have the float, also known as double in some programming languages. We also have the boolean, which is a very useful one. We also have the string, which we've been using all this time to print to the terminal. That's what's called, string. So these are the main data types or types of variables in Python. So a variable is just practically the container, and it can have different data types. So the first data type is the integer. So let's create a variable, call it myInt. And an integer is just a number. It's a completely whole number. So 12 is an integer, 15 is an integer, and even 1000 is an integer. So for this, we're going to just put 12. Now a float is different than an integer just because a float is practically a decimal. So we're going to call it myFloat. And instead of it being a whole number, like 12, it will have a decimal point, and then it will have another number at the end of it. So 12.5. And this would be considered a float or slash double because it has a decimal point. The next is a boolean, which is very useful when it comes to if and else statements, which I'll get to later in a different video. But this practically, a boolean can only be either true or false. Those are the only two values a boolean can have. It can't have any other value because, well, that's what a boolean is. And then we have a string. And a string is what we've been using almost all this time. And that is just practically text. So we'll have quotation marks, two quotation marks, the starting and the ending here, and it will have text in between. So it can literally have anything. Have anything. And this is a string. So these are the four main data types in Python: the integer, float, boolean, and string. We also have different types such as the list or the dictionary or the set. But for this video, I'm not going to show you those. So these are the four main data types. And now let's print them to the terminal, like always. So we're going to print my integer has the value of, and in Python you do the plus and then you could do my int. But another more efficient and better way instead of doing that would be to use the left and right curly brackets. You can essentially think of these left and right curly brackets represents this variable. So you have this here, and then you just do dot format, and then put the variable between the parentheses here. And this will give you, this is essentially the same as doing plus my int. But this is a better way of doing it. So we're going to do that, and we'll just do this with, actually, you know what? I'm going to just do a faster way using Shift Option, and then there we go. My float, my boolean, and my string. And I don't need this. My string, boolean, float. There we go. So now if we print this to the terminal, or actually if we run this, boom, there we go. It says my integer has a value of 12, the float has a value of 12.5, my boolean has the value of true, and my string has a value of have anything. And just in case you want to actually see what is the actual type, because this is what an integer is called, but how to actually see is this an actual integer. We can easily just see this by printing my integer has the type, and we can just put my int here, and then we can easily type. Boom, has the class there. So now if we run this, or class.name, so if we run that, there we go. It says my integer has a type of int. So that easily proves that my int is actually an integer. And if we do the same with all these others, has a type of, if we run this, it says my float has a type of float, my boolean has a type of bool, which is short for boolean, and my string has a type of str, which is short for string. So that goes to show you that these are the 4 main data types in Python, and that's how you can create them in Python. And this is how you can get if these are actually the types in Python. So I hope this video helped you. Please like it if you actually enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video.